we're trying again. I don't know if it's going to work. It said the audio's off. It says lots of things. I think it's not very happy with the cold weather. I don't know whether or not that it's affected the connectors or the bridges, but that's something we're going to have to sort of like sort out. That'll be a Nick job, because it certainly isn't within my remit. The other really odd thing is every time I move the camera, it knocks itself off. So I am not going to touch the desk, and from that point of view, I'm not going to open the mail, and I'm not going to open the boxes till tomorrow. It's just been really awful. Would you be able to get the questions up, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, you know, if you'd asked any questions earlier on, please feel free to ask them again, because quite frankly, I've lost everything. I did post it, both of the previous videos, and I'm so sorry that they're so bitty. They're absolutely awful. Anyway, we might just redo them now. Yes, it is a fourth time, and goodness knows how long this will last for.
I hope they don't have these kind of problems at the inauguration today.
No, they probably have
planned ahead,
planned ahead, and they've got very expensive equipment. So, and proper connectors probably.
Who was the horse that was with Flower today?
Right. So let me roll back to the weekend then. So this weekend has yet again been exceptionally busy. We had a lady who was going to take Luigi, and we all know what happened with Frank, and it was a real mess, unfortunately. So George has been staying with us, and we've been looking after George while pairing him up with Luigi and making sure that Luigi had all 3 of his botulism injections. Now, very sadly, the ladies, in fact, it might not be very sadly, it might be something that works out and has got a beautiful ending. Her family is having to relocate from the West Coast. There's a horse that's been evacuated. It's in a boarding barn over here, and they're going to have the donkey and the horse as a pair. So Luigi is now surplus to requirements. So he's just he doesn't know that. He's just carrying on as Luigi. He's quite happy. So so he is still with us, and we had lots of hay come in at the weekend, and we spent quite some time lifting some exceptionally heavy bales. How heavy are those bales?
They were pretty heavy. I mean, those bales, they came from New Hampshire somewhere. Now, they were the same size as a bale of hay, because they're all pretty standard size. But I tell you something, these felt like 2 bales of hay. They were pretty heavy.
And we were so lucky in that we had Ashley, we had Adam, we had Gary, we had Kate, and I did a few bales.
Yeah, and I managed to luck out of that one because I'd been dealing with the quarantine animals, so I wasn't allowed to touch the hay, which was a blessing in disguise.
Dearie me. So thank you so very much for everybody's hay bale donations, and thank you so much to Ashley and to Adam for collecting that for us. I think it came up. It came from somewhere near Tilton, and came down in their trailer in their back of their pickup. So that was very much appreciated, and it's really lovely hay. So so that was super, and we then that was on Sunday, and on Sunday we realised that I'm getting to who the horse was. Goodness. I have to tell you the whole story. It's long and convoluted. You should know this by now. So the horse issue on Meredith was that we have 3 geldings and a herd. They were doing just fine, but we felt that one of the geldings probably needed a bit more training and a bit more. Sometimes, you can sometimes be a bit pushy. So we spoke with the rescue who brought him in, Hidden Pond up in New Hampshire, and they agreed that they would have Wallace train him. So this is the first training horse for Wallace that has come in, and he is a 10-year-old thoroughbred called Humility. He's not got much of that at the moment. We'll be working on that, and Wallace will be coming in, and he will be training him. And we're desperate for the cameras to come in, otherwise I'm going to stand there and get cold fingers and video these sessions. So that's exciting. The barn, as you saw, where Wallace is going to board his horses, is getting up and running, and that's also lovely. Now, second problem that we had with horses at the weekend was our 3 quarantines are not particularly settled. 2 of them have bonded really beautifully, and the third one, they're not very keen to share the big stable stall with. So every time you arrived in Meredith, the draft cross was outside. Sometimes they let her put her head inside, and with the weather coming to such low temperatures, and also there was snow and she got wet in the rain, it was just impossible. So we made a decision that we would open up Tanner's, because Tanner's hasn't been in use for anything other than the goats. So we decided that we would open up Tanner's and we would bring Willow over. So Willow is the horse that you saw on the pond today, and we like horses to have horse companions. So Humility has obviously Wilbur and Delight, and Willow needed a horse companion. Now, the only horse that has been through a very rigorous quarantine and vaccination program to cover anything she could possibly pick up is Flower, believe it or not, because when she came in, she was exceptionally unwell. She was quarantined for a long period of time and then vaccinated. So the reason she's in with Flower is that there shouldn't really be anything that, if there is an infection or anything within Willow, it shouldn't really transfer to Flower because she's vaccinated. So they went into Tanner's yesterday evening, and this horse Willow has been the bottom of the herd. She has been nipped, she's been pushed around, she's been the last one allowed to eat. She hasn't had much of the hay. I was getting rather concerned about her weight. It appeared to be dropping. So she is over here. She is blind in one eye and is extremely nervous at the moment. I think it actually might be a good thing that she's come out of that herd, because she had too much space and she wasn't being handled. The other 2 handled, blankets on, blankets off. This girl she's just nervous. The odd thing is that Flower, who is very feisty, she just Willow puts her ears back and chases her off. But the next minute, they're trotting around the pond together quite happily. So I think she's just trying to work out where her position is in this new tiny herd with a tiny horse. She's, for all appearances, she looks like a really nice natured horse, and that's what we're hoping to bring out of her. Lots of confidence and lots of handling. So she will be with us. She will not leave quarantine until the 21st of February, and it will be interesting to see how she comes along. Now, she's on one end of the farm. There's the quarantine separation, the legal quarantine separation. So she'll be down there. She will be utilising the pond area, because we don't put horses on a regular basis on the pond area. And if the pond area becomes muddy, what we'll do is we'll put her into the A field, which is the field at the back of our house.
Well, the dogs will love that.
The dogs will love that. So that's the plan for her at this precise moment in time. We put in a very ungraceful movement, put a blanket on her this afternoon, and she, unfortunately, the side I was standing on, I keep forgetting that she's blind in that eye, and it's my dominant. I'm right-handed. It's my dominant side to throw a blanket over her, and I was like, well, I should probably be doing this the other way. So we got a blanket on her, and we'll see how she copes with that. I've adjusted it so it's nice and tight, so that she shouldn't be doing anything silly with her feet in it. But that's what we're expecting. What is it? Is it 7 degrees tonight or 3 degrees tonight?
I'll tell you.
That doesn't matter. And added into that, we've got wind chill. So we've got everybody on Meredith in, and we've got everybody here in. So
yeah, it's going to be 9 degrees.
9 degrees.
But it's going to feel quite a bit colder.
Because of the wind chill. So that's where we're at.
And the fact that we're old.
In fact, no, the horses aren't old. That's you and I,
you
and Janine.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So
give me the question.
So apparently we were actually in good company with the technical difficulties today, because apparently Carrie Underwood had to sing a cappella at the inauguration because the audio wasn't working. So that makes us feel marginally better.
Oh, thank God I don't have to sing.
Yeah,
so that's a goodie.
That was that.
So what I do is I scroll it right away to the top and then just
Yeah,
go back
darling,
down.
I've looked at everything. There isn't
Okay.
any questions right now.
No questions.
There's, no questions. There's a few comments. JMG Green was commenting on the crunchy snow you were walking in this morning.
I know, and it's. Do you know? I was watching that snow coming down last night, and then when the sun started coming up, very early this morning, I looked outside and I thought, oh, it's all just hanging around in the trees, and I am so paranoid about heavy wet snow hanging on tree branches. But it's lovely, and it's lovely fluffy stuff. So that is like good.
It's cold, and the dogs were out for quite a while today, just tumbling around in it.
We've got one still out.
Yeah, so they enjoyed that. Bella is on. Hi, Bella.
Come visit.
Drip your pipes overnight, everyone, so no freezing or breaks.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw this thing, you know, we had the problems on Meredith with the frozen hoses and everything, and it's just a thing that goes on the faucet that's a
miser.
drip,
Yeah,
the
I saw
miser
that.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works.
I said that too. I have no idea if it works either.
Maybe we're trying one of them.
Yeah. The only problem is when you drip water, and our faucets are stand-up faucets, so it's not like they go into a sink. You then get an icy ground.
Well, you just put a bucket under it, I presume. Big bucket.
Yeah, but that will overflow quite quickly.
So,
Okay.
anyway, we can give it a shot.
Something to look forward to.
Is ERN getting a new rescue?
Yes, we have a new rescue. We have 4 new rescues. They're quarantining in Pennsylvania at the moment. We have a 17-hand horse. I can't even remember. It's not a Dutch harness. I think it's actually a draft cross. And there's 3 grey and white donkeys, and they were all jacks. So we had the vet out during the week, and he was going to geld them, but when he did their lung sounds weren't strong enough for him to geld. So they have gone on to antibiotics, and they'll be given another 2 to 3 weeks to see if their lung sounds clear up, and then once they do, we'll have them gelded, and then we'll transport them up. And those are the animals that we are supposed to be transporting up with the cow. So we're trying to balance things so that we're not constantly driving around all the states.
So a few questions about the dogs. Where are they? I think they're out doing chores with Janine.
They're doing chores with Janine.
Yeah, at the moment.
And then they'll go up to the house.
Then they'll go up to the house. Okay, super.
and they've been down in here. They've been out running around. Sissy's been in the house with Wanda, and they've been pretty active. Put it that way.
Linda Gatson agrees with your thoughts on the hose miser thing.
Right.
So just make a horrible icy mess under the faucet that will slip on and then die.
Yeah. Knowing us, we're going that way.
Yeah, you can get special faucets that. The problem is, I know what you mean about the special faucets, and we do actually have those on the house that stop the actual faucet freezing. The problem on Meredith is there's these standpipes with the hose on them, and it's an actual standpipe that seems to be freezing. So we're actually at a point where it's been so cold where you can't actually even lift the standpipe to turn the faucet on because the actual mechanism is frozen. So, but even if you could open it, there would be no water coming out. So
yes,
we're just it's just really cold. So sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it other than
bucket
water from the stable or from the barn and
that was bucket with a B. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any word on Carlene's return?
Tomorrow.
Did she go away? I wasn't sure. I wasn't aware she'd gone away, actually.
She
may not be here physically,
but we do speak to her every day. No. And we're storming through as fast as we can to get that building ready. And until that's ready, she can't come back. Because
I'd say there's at least a couple of weeks worth of work still to do there, at least.
I think Janine's hoping for a week. Caroline would love to watch people working on the house while she's there. If it got to a livable stage and it was airtight and it wasn't going to be cold, it would be great. It's one of these really difficult situations. Everything has to kind of fall into the right position, because unfortunately she can't get in and out of that cabin. It's lethal just with the ice. Or she could get in, but then she'd get upset because she was stuck in it. So everybody's moving as fast as they can. So
Roger Reed, I don't really understand this question, but he said, did we Uber Larky on
No,
Friday?
we didn't Uber Larky on Friday. Janine did that. Janine was exhausted because Janine is absolutely dragging her knuckles along the ground at the moment, because not only do we have a full barn ourselves, but she's clearing out all the trash. She's back and forward to the dump. She's lifting all the mess out. Everybody's trying to help as best possible, but there's so many things that are just needing attended to all at the one time. It's a lot of work. So from that point of view, Janine was saying, I'm exhausted, but I've left Larky down with my mum. And somebody said, send him in an Uber. So no, she went to get him.
The thing is, he's that good. He probably would actually just get into an Uber and go, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
He probably would.
It'd be like, this is great.
Yeah.
So no, we didn't. Janine went down to get her, and Janine's taking her down a turkey dinner and rice pudding this evening, because she doesn't like the food down there. She's having the same turkey dinner you had.
Oh, I had a really nice turkey dinner earlier.
From Brothers.
Down in, where is that?
Danvers, because I picked it up at lunchtime.
It's like a full Christmas dinner all over again.
Yeah.
It was really good. Somebody was asked, Linda Gatson was saying she missed the discussion about the bathroom.
I missed the discussion about the bathroom as well, because I couldn't get the phone to work, so don't worry. So what's happening is, my understanding and my takeaway from that is that they're going to have to raise the floor because the pipes are all over the place. So it sounds like they'll frame the floor, raise it, and what we want is a wet room for Carlene. So one where you can spray down, she can roll in, she can use her wheelchair in there. She's safe, and she just picks the hose off the wall. Everything in that room from the sink unit to the toilet unit to the shower unit, the floor, the walls, everything apart from the toilet paper can get wet. And it means that should she be in a situation where she needs a second person in there just to make sure she's A-okay, there's lots of space, it will be heated, it will be, it'll be an easy process. So that's kind of been holding us up, because with the way that the building was built, the pipes didn't have a big enough drop. So what she did was she raised the toilet up, and she also raised the shower up. So everything is raised and has a massive step to get in it, because the plumbing wasn't.
It's on a slab,
slab.
You can't put the pipes underneath.
Yeah. So, what might have seemed like a good idea a few years ago, we're now having to work our way round about that, and that's why it's taken so long to get that area in particular back into a shape where we can move forward with that.
Somebody says they hear birds.
It's not. It's my feet. See, I've got boots on. I'm sitting on a stool, and it's got a step, and I'm moving my feet. You see, but the birds are coming down here. Once Carleen is back and the dogs are not in this room here, and it becomes my wee HQ, the birds are coming down in here.
Yeah,
and then you will hear them.
Yeah, and I'll be able to have conference calls without the birds joining, which has happened on occasion.
Yes. You'll be very bored without the birds.
Yeah. The people like seeing them. They've got all those people on the conference call, and they're all in a little square, and there's me sitting in a little square with like birds sitting on the back of the chair or on top of the screen or something like that.
Yeah, they're very interactive.
People like it.
Yeah.
Keeps the meeting interesting.
Yeah.
Fernanda was saying you've got to make sure you don't get sick and remember to hydrate and eat well.
Oh, I like that. That's a jolly good idea.
Yes. All right. We did eat well today.
We did, and we brought Janine home a turkey dinner and Carleen home a turkey dinner, because we're trying to make sure that Janine's keeping her health and strength up, because she goes for another test, to see how suitable she is for her kidney donations. So that's on Friday. So that's important as well.
For when the birds come down here, we might get a little camera on them. Or
yes, we're going to put a camera on.
Yeah, they're pretty entertaining, and
they're very badly behaved.
They're very badly behaved, but they make some quite sweet sounds.
They do. They're very sweet.
Yeah,
I like them.
And they were like two little couples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they fight.
They're pretty. Yeah. I think that's it.
Okie dokie.
Awesome job on the improvements.
We're getting there.
Yeah, lots to do. Huge progress in
I tell you, there's
the 20th of January.
There's no time to misbehave.
Mm-hmm. No.
Honestly. It's is that the yes. So that fenced area outside the White House will have one dog door, and that's where Carleen's dogs will go, because what we need is for them to be able to take themselves in and out and be fully independent of somebody opening and closing. Oh my goodness, we could bring the chinchillas down as well.
Yep. Good, yeah.
I've got this massive living abode for these chinchillas, and they only live on one level of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Maybe it's because it's winter.
Maybe.
Cuddling up together.
There are packages. I am not touching the packages that are on the table, because every time I move this phone, it drops a signal. I have no idea what's going on with it.
I think we need to get a new phone.
Is that an old phone?
It's quite old now, yeah.
Is it? Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's not. I think you use it a lot, so.
I use it more than I used to, I can tell you.
I think things do start to go wrong with them when you use it more and you drop it more and
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe
help.
bring down the chinchillas. That would be excellent.
Oh, the big white cover where lots of things are. Is that the arena? Or is that the G tent? Can you see the questions? Because I'm only getting half of them.
Well, I see Fernanda's comment about the plans for the big white cover where lots of things are, but I'm not sure what she means.
Oh, I think that's maybe the G tent. So the G tent, it needs to be cleared out because we've got, the tractor should really be in there. It should be undercover. There's lots of things that it would be helpful to be able to have, screened from the weather, the elements that would do better in there. We've got backpack blowers, we've got lots of different bits and pieces. So we really want to have. We've also got the firewood stored there, and the wood supply that's stored in there as well. So there's lots of things that we'd like to tidy up. If we have people down here, it's another dry space that's potentially out of the elements that it's just very helpful to have. So we're trying to tidy it up, and then
there's just a lot of junk in there, and Janine each day is spending,
an inordinate amount of time.
A bit of time in there just chucking things that she can, or taking it down to the end of the driveway to,
just to see if anybody
see if
wants
anyone
them.
wants to take it away.
Yeah.
There are some useful things there that we just need to decide
Where it's going to be stored.
where they're going to go, and if we've got space for it. But it's like clearing out your grandparents' basement after years and years times 5, because it's a big space.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff in it, so it just takes a while.
Lots to do.
Yeah, but it'd be good, like you said, to have it more as an enclosure that you could park a car in, or a truck, or keep things that are better to have out of the elements or the weather, away from it. So
yeah. So no, that the stuff. So we do have Mellow, who come and they empty the little dumpster, but that's for general barn waste and farm waste. It all goes into the trailer, and then Janine trailers it to the dump.
metal, we put it aside into a pile of metal that the metal guy comes and takes.
Yeah.
But if it's just general stuff that's made of wood, or if it's furniture or garbage, we just stick it in the trailer and we drive it to the dump, which isn't too far away, but it still takes, it's an hour round trip, because you've got to wait in a big queue, and
you have to pay for it.
You have to pay for it as well, yes.
Yeah.
Which is why I think people do tend to accumulate a lot of it, because that's why we've got big basements full of stuff we don't use, because we don't want to pay to take it to the dump. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Nick can do his perspective on the move to the US.
Did you want to write something?
Oh, I could do. Have to get up early though, wouldn't I? Yeah.
Therein lies the problem.
Yeah. I'll think about that. I'll have a word with you later, Hilda.
I'm obviously not going fast enough.
What can be done with the animal waste? Growing up, we used to buy manure for our gardens.
So we compost some of it, and if we get to a level where we can't compost, we take it in the trailer and we take it to Brick Ends, and they compost it. So.
And again, it's one of those things that takes time, because you got to hook up you got to get it into the dump trailer. You got to take the dump trailer to Brick End, drop it off at Brick End, then come back. So, and we did used to have a bigger trailer.
We did.
We did, for that purpose, but we don't have it anymore. And it would be good if we had that trailer, because then we could use that trailer just to put poop in, and then once it got full up,
No. We wouldn't be pooping in the trailer. We load it with poop.
we load it with poop. But I'm just saying, when we put it straight in there rather than on the ground, then we could save a bit of time. But we can't do that right now because we need the other dump trailer to do.
Well, and to be fair,
stuff.
as well, part of the agreement was that the big dump trailer would go up. Hello, little stinkies. And Janine. Where's Sizzy? Is she still in the house?
I'm going to keep her up in the house.
Sizzle is in the house because she's not daft.
Leaving these guys down here while I go,
Why, you go see your mum?
and then I will come back and get them.
Yes.
I don't like them alone in the house.
No, because they get up to mischief. Any more questions?
Yeah, I mean, these are all great ideas around the manure. Just maybe you guys could remind us of them in another few months' time. We just haven't got the capacity to think about them at the moment. But yeah, it would be good to do something useful locally with it, or make some money out of it if we could.
Well, so the very odd thing is, manures is quite a tricky subject because you have to remember that we have wetlands and we have designated areas. You're looking particularly charming.
I love your fit.
Get much better than this. Yeah, South Carolina was looking better and better every day.
Yeah.
All right, so
You have to get it.
Do you know what we do, Janine? When your mum comes back, we say, right, okay, so you're in charge now.
yeah, really.
We're
Here
off
you
ski.
go. Yeah.
Off ski. We see you.
Okay,
So which
I'm gonna go.
Caroline Roper were you suggesting I wasn't in charge anyway?
I'm dropping out for dinner and I'll be right back.
Okay, that's perfect.
Everybody is now fed.
I'll make sure that they're A-okay in here.
Yes, should be fine. There's one blanket out there. People keep saying that
It's the same blanket. She
Yeah.
just drags it around.
yeah, she drags it out there.
Yeah.
I dragged it back in and she dragged it right back out.
Yeah.
So.
So, and she's
They
got
have
two.
blankets.
And she's got two blankies in here. So
And it's
she's
nice
fine.
and warm in here.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is nice and warm.
Yeah, so and I'll turn the heat back down when I come back.
Okay. I'll leave the light for them. So,
All right, bye.
So the reason that the manure has to go to a certain place, it would be good if it could go to a certain place. You touch it once,
Yeah.
and it's done. But it's not working out like that at the moment because we've only got one trailer.
Which is kind of the way we do it at Meredith Farm, where we take the poop out of the stalls and we take it to a poop area, and that's it. It's done. Because we don't have to do anything with it after that. Because Tim comes around to each of the poop areas next to each of the barns and
With his enormous tractor.
with his enormous JCB and scoops it up and takes it to the big poop pile.
The master poop
The
pile.
master poop pile. See, this is just a hierarchy of poop piles. You got the small poop pile next to the barn. Tim picks that up, takes it to his big poop pile down in the forest. And then I think once a week, the guy from Brick End comes and takes it to the even bigger poop pile at Brick End. So
Yeah. There's a system.
yeah, it's like a whole industry
Yeah.
of poop. But that's the way it works at Meredith. We only have to take it out of the barn and put it in the pile,
Yeah.
and
And then
forget about
the interesting thing is, it's sold back to people. So all the stuff that we're busy scooping and manoeuvring, it gets sold back to people as compost.
Yeah, the problem is you have to. It's not just a case of put it in a pile and turns into compost. These people who make the compost, they have to churn it and mix it and let it get air, and then it has to mature. And
they're also, because of the volumes that they're working with, it's a hot heap. So sometimes the problem is that if you do this on your own and you've got too many green elements, like grass can go slimy. If you've got too much, the ratio of components can cause you to have an imbalance. Then you end up with a smelly, stinky mess. So it is problematic. We do have some really nice heaps that we have made ourselves. The quarantine poop is handled totally differently. It goes to a separate location. It is hot heaped, and then that kills off all the pathogens, and it lies for a period of time. And it's away from any grazing, it's away from the barns, and it's a bit of a walk with it, but that's what we do. It doesn't transfer to dogs or other animals. It's all, if anything that we can possibly bring in with the horses stays contained within the horses.
Oh, is that you talking about the quarantine poop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got piles of poop. I've got places and reasons for poop, and honestly.
Well, I took lots of poop, quarantine poop,
Yeah.
down to the. It can still go to the same poop pile,
Yeah.
but that is the one exception. We have to take that poop
Yeah.
directly to the big poop pile. We can't leave it lying around the
In the
farm
general-
for waiting for Tim to pick it up and take it down to the big poop pile.
We drive it ourselves.
So we take it down in a little gorilla cart attached to the car, and we take it to the big poop pile. And
And that gorilla
Drop
cart
off.
is not allowed to go anywhere else on the barn.
yeah, that's right. And then as soon as you're finished, you're not allowed to go anywhere on the farm. You go home and strip and get hosed down. And
Do you know what? We should totally be after dinner speakers. People would love to hear us talking about poop.
I tell you, yeah, like at the young farmers convention or something like that. I don't know.
Oh dear, save us all.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
you know, somebody's got to.
We're poop experts. It's a dirty job and we do it.
How are your chickens?
Living. I tell you, they're not going outside.
No, they will not go
They
outside.
will not go outside.
Yeah.
And they're furious.
I think they went outside on
Yesterday.
Friday or Saturday,
Yes.
and then it started snowing on Sunday. And you open up the door like this morning, and they take one look out and go, nope.
They were like, "Are you joking?" And they all turned round and piled back in. Those stinkers.
All right, I think that's it.
Okie dokie. Well, lovely to see you, and we'll be back tomorrow with more scintillating conversation.
Yeah, we'll try and think of a new one for tomorrow.
Night night, everyone.